Welcome to Champ Car's Bridgestone Pole Qualifying Show on Speed.
And welcome to Mexico City, Mexico for the season finale for the Champ Car World Series. Getting set to decide the starting lineup for the Champ Car Grand Prix of Mexico City later here on Speed. Let's have a look at the championship standings. Sebastian Bourdais is the back-to-back title holder now in the McDonald's #1, but from 2nd through 10th, just about every position is up for grabs. Oriol Servia may be able to put a hammerlock on 2nd here during the upcoming qualifying session. Hello again, everyone. I'm Rick Benjamin. Jan Bikas is alongside. Final Bridgestone Pole Qualifying Show of 2005. Jan, this is a driver's track. What will we see here this afternoon?
I think qualifying is going to be wild because it's a racetrack where you have to be very aggressive. But funny enough, Rick, it's easy to overdrive. You're going to see guys pushing too hard going off the racetrack because you have to kind of hold yourself back but stay on the button. The other thing is the Bridgestone alternate tires, the red sidewall tires, are way, way faster. You have to use them if you want to be on the pole position. The key is, when do you use them, and can you get a clear racetrack?
Well, Friday here, there was plenty of action. No one was on the Bridgestone Reds, but Paul Tracy, as we are accustomed to seeing, was very aggressive on turn 14.
It's a case where there's some bumps on the approach, and boy, if you get it wrong, it gets away in a hurry.
A.J. Allmendinger was quickest at the end of the Friday session. Allmendinger wins a point, and he is on the provisional pole heading into final qualifying today. He will start on the front row. Well, let's get an update on our Bridgestone Passion for Excellence this weekend. Here's our colleague, Calvin Fish.
Alan, yesterday's qualifying session, we saw a huge reduction when the drivers went to the alternate tires. Now, the Reds are always faster, but why so significant here in Mexico City?
Well, we've been working on the alternate tire concept for some time now, and this is really a big laboratory for us, and probably, our estimates would be about a second a lap faster for the red sidewall Bridgestone Potenzas yesterday, and we continue working on a lot of things here, and one of the other things that Bridgestone does to support the series that the fans may not see is coming down here to Mexico City, we actually bring spare tractor-trailer tires. A couple of the teams have had trouble, and we've been able to switch those out as well. So whether it's on the track or on the street, we're supporting the Champ Car Series.
Thanks, Al.
You're welcome.
So A.J. Allmendinger was fastest during first round qualifying. He'll try to back that up with another terrific lap here at the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez. We'll be back.
I like bikes and beer, guns and girls.
It's the Bridgestone Pole Qualifying Show. Our coverage today being brought to you by Bridgestone. Passion for excellence. The Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez moments ago, Justin Wilson laid down the quickest lap of the weekend. Yana 1:27.2.
And you can watch the conclusion of this lap. You can see that he built great momentum coming off the last set of S's. And here's where you have to get on the brakes very late, but stay smooth. You can see he turns in early into the segment here. We're calling through the stadium. And he had a great finish to this lap to put him to the top of the charts.
Wilson really pushing hard to get that quick lap, diving quickly onto pit road. He did it on the alternate tires, the Bridgestone Reds, the softer tires that we heard Al Spires say, basically a second a lap quicker.
And he was one of those drivers, was Justin Wilson, that did not use any alternate tires yesterday, so he can use both sets today in qualifying. You can see clearly that Servia also here is on the red sidewall alternates.
What a breakthrough season it's been for Oriol Servia since taking over the Pacific Air #2 in relief of the injured Bruno Junqueira, who is not going to make his return to competition this season. He will wait for the start of 2006 to do that, but Servia hoping to lock up second in the Drivers' Championship.
And you can see what Oriol is doing here. He is creating space. He saw one of the Team Australia cars ahead of him. He's backed off, and now he'll come hard off of this corner, hoping to start what he hopes will be a fast lap.
So Servia off the final of the 17 turns here at the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez down the front straightaway. It's 2.8 miles. Calvin Fish is on pit road with us this weekend. Cal, how's Paul Tracy's mindset going in here today?
Well, he's very happy during that little warm-up session that we had where they really get a feel for the car on day 2. And he said, we've got a good race car here, and I think he has a very significant lap time. He just laid down. He's only a 10th off Justin Wilson, and he did that on the standard tires. We're seeing a second reduction in lap time, so look out for PT before the end of this session.
Paul Tracy was second quick yesterday. Now Sebastian Bourdais out on the racetrack on the alternates as well.
And we need to watch the timing here because it looks like Sebastian Bourdais has finally got what he's been looking for, and that is a clean lap on the racetrack on the Reds. This should be good.
Bourdais off the final corner, heading down the long front straightaway. here at Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez. Watch the white line. That's an out-of-bounds line here on the front straightaway. Bourdais to the top of the charts, a 1:26.827 second lap. So Bourdais, who owns the track record here, said a year ago he's the first driver to get under 1:27.
And he is still on it, so he is looking for more. Sebastian has not had good timing this weekend in first round of qualifying, but he is the master at qualifying if he gets a clean racetrack, gets on the right tires, and he has another good one going.
He won here a year ago. He led the entire race after qualifying on the pole, locking up his first driver's championship. Now he's clinched 2 straight after his run to victory at Australia a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, usually we see Bourdais go out at the end of a session and try to steal the pole with a quick lap. He says, no, I'm not going to worry about that today.
He's learning from Paul Tracy. Paul Tracy this year has gone out early in some of the qualifying sessions and got one in the books just in case. I called an insurance lap, and he is again adding, watching the segments, he is just fractionally faster than he was on the previous lap.
14.5 minutes to go. Final round qualifying here at the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez. Final race of the Champ Car World Series in 2005. Bourdais already quickest, a 1:26.827 last time out. He may be faster through the stadium, Jan.
But he has lost a little bit on the approach to the stadium. My guess is that his previous fast lap is going to hold. He'll duck onto pit road and wait.
So Bourdais backs out of it. The timing stripe to complete a lap is right there before the entrance to pit road off that final corner. Paul Tracy with the fans on. It's more than 85 degrees here in Mexico City today. We'll be back. About 12.5 minutes remaining. Final round of qualifying for the final race of 2005. As Bridgestone presents pole qualifying on Speed, the Champ Car World Series. With Jan Bikas, Sybrek Benjamin, Calvin Fish on pit road. 2003 Series champion Paul Tracy out on the Bridgestone red tires, Jan.
Still getting them warmed up to temperature. One thing you don't want to do with these alternate tires is you don't want to push too hard and flat spot them. You don't want to lock them up in the brake zone because they are so much faster. You've got to use them in the race. So you want to be fast, but you can't tear them up in qualifying.
What's the goal in qualifying with the Bridgestone Reds? Just 2 or 3 laps is all you want to run on them?
Well, the goal is to be the quickest guy, obviously, but you want to get it done, just like you say, Rick, the fastest possible. You saw Sebastian Bourdais. He tried 2 hot laps and said, that's it, that's all I'm going to do.
Well, Tracy 4th on the board right now. He was 2nd quick yesterday, Calvin Fish. How about Neil Mickelwright? What does he think about PT's chances here?
He said the car felt very good after that initial run on the standard tires. They made no adjustments whatsoever. They found from yesterday's run, the car picked up just a little trace of understeer, but Paul can typically drive around that, so he's on it early. I spoke to him this morning. He said, I probably waited too long. These Reds come in really quick, so he's probably on a hot one already.
Tracy hauling down the front straightaway here at the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez. Huge crowds all weekend long. Fans here, of course, for qualifying. Tomorrow it'll be a packed house. We expect well over 100,000 fans on the grounds here tomorrow in Mexico City. Tracy bending that car into turn number 1. First complex of S's, Jan. Very complex racetrack.
You can see how much momentum this racetrack is, how much flow from left to right. I will say that Paul is still warming up. He has not gone after this one in anger yet. And although we talked and Calvin certainly said that we want to get on him quick, I think that Paul has learned that he's trying to just get himself in position timing-wise and get some heat in the tires. He could have possibly done it here, but he's waiting a lap.
Paul Tracy disappointed that he did not remain in championship contention through the final race of the season. Essentially, he told us back at Denver when he stuck the car on the wall while leading, I threw the championship away. Then the incident at Las Vegas certainly sealed that for Tracy. What's he trying to accomplish this weekend?
It's a case of, you know what, the championship is over, and I know I can beat Sebastian Bourdais, and there's no one that he wants to beat more than the McDonald's team and Sebastian Bourdais. Now watch how he goes through this complex, because this will be the start of what he's going to try and string together a quick one. So it's not about how fast you go through here, it's how fast can you get off, and then watch Paul Tracy go for it.
Off the final of the 17 turns, 2.78 miles around this circuit. And Tracy on the front straightaway here. About 10 minutes to go. Final round qualifying for the Champ Car World Series in Mexico City. Now Justin Wilson is back out on the Bridgestone Reds again after laying down a quick lap earlier. He ran a lap of 1:27.2. He was provisionally on the pole several minutes ago in the session. Right now he's listed 4th.
And this would be his second set. So he also, like Paul Tracy, will be a little cautious and sort of bringing them up to temperature, and then he'll start stringing together quick laps. But Justin Wilson, riding on board through the S's this weekend, has been unbelievable. Left and right, and fighting the wheel and the car. It's just been fantastic. They say the car is on a knife edge. Sometimes the front lets go, sometimes the rear. It's been great to watch.
Wilson hauling toward turn 1 here at Mexico City. In the Intel number 9, the Rousport car, scored his first career victory in the series back at Toronto in the summer. Nearly won a couple of weeks before that at Portland when he was dominating, leading past halfway. The oil pump gave up in his Cosworth motor at that point. As we go on board the Ford Cosworth telemetry. One car off in the dust there in front of Wilson. He may not have enough open racetrack to really put together a fast lap here.
He's okay so far. It is a little bit distinct, or it's a case where it leads you astray. Oh, actually, he's already lost some time there. If you hear him having to throttle out at the exit of an S like that, he's already decided, this isn't the lap, I'm going to set up for the next one.
Heading toward the backstretch here at the Autodromo. This is the area where several drivers have come to grief this week. Yesterday we saw Paul Tracy, Cristiano D'Amata spin right there and back it into the tires. Tracy did some damage, which we showed you earlier, in the 3 car, but they were able to repair it, of course, get it back out today. 1 year ago here, when Sebastian Bourdais led all the way and won this race, he spun completely, got the car going again, never lost the lead. Justin Wilson goes to the top of the speed chart speed time, a 1:26.66. Now, that betters Sebastian Bourdais' best lap by about a tenth and a half, so a very good run for Wilson.
And that was a case where it didn't look as fast. You could see when he was going through the S's, it looked very much controlled. You could actually hear some left foot brake. You could hear him kind of settling the car down. But I think Justin Wilson has more. We've definitely seen him push harder through the S's than what we saw when we rode on board.
7.5 minutes to go. This is Tracy. Not up to speed quite yet this time around. Wilson and Allmendinger are on the racetrack. Bourdais is on pit road. And if Bourdais follows his normal form, I would suspect he'll wait until the last couple of minutes to come out and take one more crack at things here in Mexico City. Tracy 4th at the moment. His teammate Mario Dominguez 5th quick. Oriol Servia is 6th fast. Rodolfo Levine, Jimmy Vasser, Cristiano D'Amata, his teammate, and the very impressive Australian rookie Will Power in 10th right now. Power was 4th quick in the morning practice today. We haven't really had a look at him yet during qualifying. Tracy starting to come up to speed in the 3 car. There's Bourdais on pit road with the fan running, trying to stay cool with that championship already under his belt. Back with more in Mexico City. And welcome back to the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez. Red flag has come out during qualifying. Team Australia fielding 3 cars again here this weekend, but a change in their driver lineup. Atlantic Series champ Charles Wolzman sort of earning a prize for his 2005 title. A one-off drive in the 25 car, locked up the brakes and spun. And they're waiting to give him a tow. 5 minutes, 45 seconds to go in the session. And this may limit drivers' opportunities to take a run at Wilson and Allmendinger, who at the moment are on the front row.
The big difference between Champ Car and the Toyota Atlantic Series is that Toyota Atlantic cars have onboard starters. So if you pulled that maneuver in the Atlantic Series, you refire and off you go. That's one of the first things you have to learn. If you spin, don't kill it.
Well, isn't the other big difference the fact that these cars have 3 times the horsepower?
Well, yes. but he lost it on the brakes, not on the power.
All right. Well, we are under red flag conditions. Clock continues to run, though. 5:15 to go in the session. As they get Wolzman pointed in the right direction, tires are flat spotted. Let's check in downstairs. Calvin Fish.
Well, this red flag has absolutely killed Paul Tracy. Got a good run there on his 3rd lap. Ran a 26.9, but that was not enough, obviously, to grab the pole. He was then on a quick one, and this red flag's mean they may be done for the day. These reds drop off pretty quick once you really give them a hard time.
LPT pulls the 3 car in, shuts it off, flips the visor up. They will cover the front wing for now. Inside, 4:45 to go. Justin Wilson at the moment on pole with a lap of 1:26.6. His teammate A.J. Allmendinger ran a 1:27.3 yesterday. He would join him on the front row at the moment anyway.
And for Justin Wilson, we were watching and thought he had a faster one coming. He got it in for once just before the red. So many times you hear the story. I was on a quick one and the red came out. He got his in the books. And just like Calvin predicted, Paul Tracy appears to be done.
Tracy out of the race car, taking the gloves off. 4:10 to go. Now, several other teams have refired, and the green flag has reappeared. So I'm a little surprised at this. Hopefully we can find out from Calvin what Tracy's thinking is at this point. Cristiano D'Amata rolls out on the racetrack. Servia and Bourdais are out there. At the moment, the last pole for Justin Wilson, if this stands, came at Portland. The race he dominated past the first half. Cal.
Here with PT Paul, a good run, but that red really killed you then.
Yeah, I was up 2/10 right in the first sector, and we're only, 3/10 off. So, the first 3 corners I was, on pace to match the time, and we had the rest of the track. So a little bit frustrated. The best is off the tires now, so there's no point in going out and abusing them because we want to use those reds in the race. So we need to save them for the race. Thanks, Paul.
Well, there you have it. The thinking is that they better save what they have. 4th quick at the moment. Starting in the 2nd row here wouldn't be bad tomorrow.
But he is 4th at the moment. We have some very fast guys who have gone out to try and better their times. But when it comes down to racing, it is the tires that you have available for the race, not qualifying. And so sometimes discretion is the better part of valor. Probably a good move. Sébastien Bourdais had been sitting there on a fresh set of tires. What the heck? Let's go for it.
Championship's already put to bed. 6 wins in 12 races on the season. A place he dominated a year ago. No reason to think he won't be plenty fast tomorrow when we drop the green flag. And you'll see our coverage, of course, a little bit later on today here on Speed. His teammate Oriol Servia, what a fantastic season for the Spaniard who's taken over the Pacific Air 2 car. A lot of speculation. Newman Haas may run 3 cars next year if they can obtain the funding for that. And Servia may be on the squad next year along with Bourdais, who is definitely back. And by all indications, Bruno Junqueira will return next year as well. So could see a 3-car super team from Newman Haas in 2006. As we watch Servia start to pick the speed up. Bourdais leaning on a little wiggle there. A.J. Allmendinger hoping to take the pole back from his teammate Wilson. 6 front row starts for the Rousport team so far in 2005. 3 each for Wilson and for Allmendinger. They've swept the front row twice so far coming in here this weekend. This, meantime, is Mario Dominguez. And you talk about a driver who carries the hopes of an entire nation with him. Dominguez at this place on this weekend certainly meets that criteria.
And that is a lap that is not going to do it for you. Thankfully, he was setting up a fast one, not trying to finish one. But obviously, he is pushing hard. But you've got to make your way through that complex and stay clean.
Roche Franz on the car this weekend, along with Indec. Part of Forsyth Championship Racing. Super Mario Dominguez, 5th quick so far. Best lap of the weekend at 1:27.29. Here's a look at Servia coming through the baseball stadium on the concrete. Cuts right through the infield, back out of the stadium into the front straightaway.
Believe it or not, Oriol Servia doesn't care for this racetrack just from the standpoint he doesn't think he's very fast here. He loves the actual layout of the racetrack. Says I can never really feel as though I have the kind of rhythm that I want and I find in other places.
Minute 15 to go, so this should be about the final lap for most of these guys. Quickly to Cal.
With the guy who currently sits at the top of the charts, Justin Wilson, a great lap there. We noticed a little bobble in the S's. Was that the ultimate lap for you?
I think we had a little bit more left, but as it is, I'm pretty happy. Just waiting to see if we can hang on. I think Sébastien and maybe AJ a little bit quicker, so I'm not expecting to hang on to this one.
You obviously love the track, finished 4th here last year with Conquest Racing and a great car underneath you this weekend, it looks like.
Yeah, Rousport done a great job. It's been a difficult weekend. We've not been quick. We've always managed to get to the right end of the timetable at the right time, so we just keep working away to try and stay cool and do the best we can.
Thanks, Justin.
Thank you.
Less than 30 seconds to go. Running clock on the session, top left of your screen. You can see the seconds tick down. This final lap will count. Bourdais on the hammer here.
And he will have one more if he can cross the timing line, not the start-finish line, but if he can get past the timing line before this counts down. With 10 seconds, he won't quite make it. So you're right, this will be the last time for Sébastien Bourdais. Don't think he can beat the clock.
Bourdais' final lap under green and final round qualifying here in Mexico City. Time has expired. Let's see what Bourdais does. And it looks as though it will be Wilson and Allmendinger on the front row. Bourdais does not improve his time. He will start 3rd in the event coming up, the Champ Car Grand Prix of Mexico City. You'll see our coverage here on Speed in just a few moments. Bourdais and Tracy will start in the 2nd row. It's an all Rousport front row for the 3rd time this season. The 8th Rousport front row starting spots, 4 each for Wilson and Allmendinger. We'll be back with more from Mexico City. Today's coverage of the Bridgestone Pole Qualifying Show has been brought to you by Bridgestone, passion for excellence. Welcome back to the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez in Mexico City, preparing for the final Champ Car Grand Prix of the season. Justin Wilson scores his second pole of the year. Wilson and A.J. Allmendinger, his teammate, on the front row.
It's going to be a great start for Roosport. This is a racetrack you definitely want to start up front. It's tough to pass. They'll be tough all race long.
We'll show you the list of pole award winners from Bridgestone in the 2005 season. Tracy and Bourdais, the dominant players. Bourdais won the second pole of the year. He ends up with 5 poles on the season and wins the season-long Bridgestone Pole Award Championship. After qualifying was over, Calvin caught up with Justin Wilson.
Pole sitter for the race tomorrow, Justin Wilson. Justin, when we last spoke, you didn't think you'd hang on, but a great lap.
Yeah, I was a bit nervous. That last 5 minutes seemed a long time. There's a few guys out there I expected to do better. I mean, AJ, I knew he was quick. I think he caught the red at the wrong time, so we just had to sit it out. But you know, it's great for the team. You know, 1-2 last race. It's been a lot of hard work this weekend. You know, the guys have been working hard. You know, a lot of changes. We didn't come out, or we didn't unload off the truck that quick, so we've had to change a lot.
Great job, mate. He talked about AJ potentially being quick. It'll be a Roosport front row. AJ, I know you're very frustrated. How was your run?
Not good. I mean, we didn't put it together. I don't know. We're just right now, you know, we're teetering back and forth on a setup it's so close, but you know, when we get it wrong, it's tough to drive. So right now, it's just we're struggling a bit. We struggle all day.
Well, A.J. Allmendinger frustrated. He'll try to work those frustrations out shortly. That's our Bridgestone Pole qualifying show from the Champ Car Grand Prix of Mexico City. Jan Beekes moves down to pit road in a moment. Derek Daly joins me topside. Our live coverage of the Champ Car World Series Grand Prix of Mexico City is up next, right here on Speed. For Jan Beekes and Calvin Fish, I'm Rick Benjamin. We congratulate the Bridgestone Pole Award winner, Justin Wilson. We'll be right back here on Speed.